Good morning, everyone. Welcome to episode 19. Yes, I'm pretty sure we're at 19 of the Salapaloosa Knits video cast. Today is Thursday, it's the 26th of July, and it's a beautiful sunny day, which means that it's very warm in here. I'm seriously regretting wearing this big woolly cardi, but hopefully it's going to be alright. I do have some hot and cool beverages next to me, so I'm sure I'll be fine. And also because of the lovely sun, we have some sun art happening today. I had to move around quite a bit to find a spot where I could sit and talk to you guys without my face being completely covered in the sun at some point. Anyways, if this is your first time stopping by, thank you so much for giving my podcast a chance and welcome. And if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. I very much appreciate you being here and talking to me. This is a video podcast primarily about knitting. I do dabble in crochet and sewing as well, but today is going to be all knitting. Or maybe that's a lie. I might have some crochet. Do I have some crochet? Well, let's just say it's going to be most likely only knitting, and then it's going to be true no matter what happens. Yes, if you want to get in touch with me, I am Salapaloosa Knits on Instagram. That is most definitely where I am most active. In a couple of weeks we'll mark the 1 year anniversary of my Instagram, which I'm really excited about. Yes, and what else? Ravelry. I am Salapaloosa on Ravelry. We have a podcast group on Ravelry, which is definitely where you want to be right now because some great things are coming your way, and the name of the group is Salapaloosa Knits Podcast. Enter that in the groups tab on Ravelry and it should just pop right up. If you have any questions, inquiries, collaborations or anything like that, the easiest way to get in touch with me is to pop me an email. It is salapaloosaknits@gmail.com. Okay, enough about that. I need to say who I am. My name is Elizabeth. If you can't tell, I'm in total vacation mode still, and clearly my brain is a little foggy. I feel like that is the excuse every week, which may point in the direction of my brain just baseline being a little foggy. But I'm going to use the vacation excuse this week. Just bear with me. My name is Elizabeth. I'm coming to you from the beautiful city of Bergen, which is located in the western part of Norway, and this is where I live with my wonderful long-term boyfriend Christian, and yes, where all the knitting happens and all the yarn stashing happens, or yarn exploring as I like to call it. Yes, I also work in a psychiatric hospital, and I guess that's pretty much it. Sorry if there's going to be any background noise today. There was a helicopter just going above our house. I had to crack open a window just because it's incredibly hot in here, and with all of the studio lighting around me, then it's just a complete furnace in here. I do have some. Let me just have a sip of coffee before going into the admin. I'm having a toffee flavoured coffee pod. I got it in Spain No, that's not true. It's a caramel flavoured coffee pod for Nespresso, and I bought it in Paris, and it's by a brand called Cafe Royale, and it's really good. Alright, some admin. We are going to do a knit along. Me and the lovely Rachel of the Knit Abilities podcast, and the very lovely Stevie of BB's Handmade Dress podcast. I think I just said lovely Rachel and very, very lovely Stevie or something like that. Rachel, you are just as lovely. Anyways, Rachel of the Knit Abilities podcast and Stevie of BB's Handmade Dress. We are, the three of us are going to do a knit along. It's starting August 1st and running through September, and it's going to be called the Fall Prep Cal, and use the hashtag Fall Prep Cal when you join in. Basically, we just want everyone to knit on the things that you want to be able to wear when the or for fall, big or small. You can knit on started projects, but I am thinking no sort of half-finished objects. Keep it less than that, and it's fine. So that, yes, it's starting on August 1st and running through September, and at least that's what we're thinking right now. And that way, when the chill sort of swipes over your country, wherever you are, you'll be ready with some toast in your knits to cuddle up in and keep you from freezing your toes off. Yes, there will be a chatter thread in all of our groups and on Ravelry, so make sure you check them out. And there will be an extra prize drawn from the chat thread in the Ravelry group, so it definitely pays off to be active and join in the fun and talk to everyone and share progress pictures and things like that. That's for the chatter thread. So I'll make sure I'll start that one up rather quickly so that you can get planning and get started. So August 1st. It's going to be so much fun. Come and join us. I'm really excited, and yeah, I can't wait. There's so many things that I want to make. I want to make a bunch of different socks. I want to make mittens. I want to do colorwork mittens. I want to do all of the mittens from Ellie of Skeinders, all of her mitten patterns. I want to do shawls, I want to do jumpers, I want to do everything. So I'm going to have to do some serious thinking and start planning out what to do. I've also got the driftwood shawl, the Jared Flood shawl from Brooklyn Tweed that I just barely started this winter, or maybe it was this spring, and I put it aside just because it was just so wintry and I wanted to knit on something different this spring. So maybe I should pick that up. It's definitely very far away from half finished. So that would probably be good. Yes. Alright. Also, I have done a call out for a bunch of test knitters yesterday. Thank you so much to everyone who got in touch with me. It was just incredibly overwhelming. There were, I think, around 100 different people wanted to do the test knit, so I'm just completely mind blown and overwhelmed and so grateful. So thank you so much. All of the testers have now been chosen and contacted, and if you applied and didn't get chosen this time around, please do get in touch with me the next time I do testnet, because yeah, this time around it was just so many people, and clearly I would love for you all to be able to testnet, but unfortunately that's just not doable. But thank you anyways, and do stay in touch, and it won't be too long until there will be a next call out. And clearly this is one of the things that I've been working on that's been taking up a lot of my time, and I haven't been able to show you guys previously. It's 3 different patterns, so I've been working on that a lot, and the time is very close to talking to you about it and showing it off. And the first one will be released mid-August, so that's not very far away. Okay, enough about that. Grab your preferred cozy beverage and let's get into the knitting. So, speaking of, oh, I got a frog in my throat. Excuse me. Speaking of, what was I speaking of? Foggy brain, I know. Yes, speaking of secret projects, one of the projects that I've been working on is not secret anymore, because it was a test knit from my amazing friend Tristan of Dragonhoard Yarns, and it is a pair of socks, and they are spectacular. Let me just grab the bag. I think they are in here. Yes, they are. So it's a half finished object at this point. It's living in my lovely mermaid bag by Me. It's very cute. I really love this bag. It's a drawstring bag. I think I've shown you this one a couple of times previously. And it's got this very lovely flowery fabric, and there is a tag, Me on Etsy. Okay, the yarn I am using for this project is called First Snow, and it is by Tammy Wee Colors. And it's a fingering weight yarn. I think this is a BFL. I forgot to look up the details of this one, but I'll link to it in the show notes, which can be found in the Ravelry group for the podcast. Yes, Tamari Colors First Snow, and I'm so excited about this one. I've just loved working on it so much. Okay, I'm going to show you. These are the combat socks. I mean, oh, the sun is moving too quickly. So it's, I don't even know where to begin. I'm just gonna rage about this for a little while. So it's clearly a long sock, and you basically knit these to fit the length of your boots, so that this gorgeous bubbly part is sitting like a boot tupper on top of your boot, like that. And then the sock is underneath, clearly. I love these so much. if you need to pause this to go get the pattern, I 100% understand. Tristan has released the pattern. They're called the combat socks, and yes, just head on over there and have a look at them, because they are spectacular, and it was such a joy to knit these. I love bobbles so much. I've been doing a lot of bobbles for different projects lately, and so I was just really sort of feeling the bobbles lately. So just knit up quickly, and I love doing bobbles. They're so much fun. And then there's this lovely slip stitch pattern all the way throughout the sock, and it's just honestly such a joy to knit them. I knit them on the pattern calls for DPNs, and I don't normally knit socks on DPNs. I feel like for me, because I'm used to knitting magic loop, it's just a little bit more fiddly, but I really wanted to do it in the way that the pattern was written, so I just jumped into it and went with the DPNs. I knitted in carbons, DPNs, and yeah, like I said, magic loop is usually a lot quicker for me, and most certainly that still applies even after knitting this beautiful sock on DPNs. I've definitely gotten a lot quicker though, I will say that. It's not as fiddly as it was to start with, and also I'm really liking the carbons DPNs. They are just really good needles, and so lightweight, which helps a lot and makes it a lot less fiddly, at least for me. And yes, I'm sure after knitting the second sock, DPNs will be just as natural as magic loop. I'm hoping anyways, because I did start off knitting using DPNs when I was little, clearly, because magic loop is sort of a bit of a newer thing, and I never had an issue with it. I never found it to be fiddly when I started knitting, so it's just probably something that I've gotten into my head, and I need to get over that. So I'm gonna focus a little bit on the DPNs, and I do got a set of the carbons DPN, the DPN set with the Knit Pro carbons, so I'm definitely gonna try using them a little bit more. I've got some higher DPNs. They are not higher sharps. They are okay, but I definitely like the carbons better. Now if I can just get my hands on one of those signature DPN sets. It is my birthday in October. Maybe I'll put in an early wish with Christian. One can hope. Anyways, back to the pattern. I was planning on this is ridiculous, really. I was planning on finishing both of these on holiday. We just came home from spending 3 weeks on holiday in Spain, and I was planning on finishing all of them. There's 2 of them, both of them. I don't have more than 2 feet, you guys. Both of them while we're in Spain, but on our plane ride down, there was a lot of turbulence for some periods, and it was kind of crazy. It was shaking around. The plane was really just shaking, and the overhead luggage compartment opened some places, and some suitcases fell down into the corridor or the aisle in the plane, and it was kind of intense. And around me, some people were just freaking out a little bit and screaming, and luckily there were it sounds very dramatic, but I didn't really feel like it was that dramatic. there were a lot of people with children on the plane, and all the parents were just freaking out, but the children were clearly just enjoying it like a roller coaster and just laughing and having just fun pretty much, which I think might have diffused the tension a little bit for the other passengers. Yes, just blissfully unaware of why this is a little bit scary and not just like a roller coaster. But it was completely fine, no worries. The cabin crew was calm the whole time, so nothing dramatic really. But I think it just came upon the passengers a little bit abruptly, so that people just got a bit frightened. But anyways, at some point the plane fell for a little bit and it had a little drop, and at that point it was just shaking quite a bit, and this is when some of the overhead compartments opened up, and with my GPNs, I had just finished a row. I just kept on knitting because I was thinking that, you know, keeping my hands busy and just focusing my energy on something would probably help me just not worry about it as well. So I just went with it. And then when I came to turn, the plane dropped a little bit and just the needle flew out of my hands. Thank goodness it just like fell between the seats and on the floor and just disappeared somewhere and not, you know, overhead. It could probably be not too comfortable if you got it in your eye, but that did not happen. And I probably spent several minutes searching for it, but it was a goner, and I couldn't get another needle in Spain. I couldn't find any DPNs at all, and none in the right diameter. So yeah, it didn't happen. So this one got finished when I got home, and yes, that slowed me down for about 3 weeks. But finally I have started to cast. No, I haven't. I'm lying. I'm sorry. I was just about to cast on for the second one. So I'll get to that probably later today, I'm hoping. One more time for the cheap seats in the back. Combat socks. Go check out Dragonhold Yarns if you are looking for a new cast on, and if you wear boots. I really need to get some new boots to fit these. It's naughty, I know, but I just really want to wear something that will show them off, because they are so pretty. Alright, that's that. The next project I have been working on is living in my lovely lemony Girl So Sheepy bag. I love her bags, and this one was gifted to me through Fibershare. I mean, I added a photo of it on my story. It was the most general package I have ever gotten in my life from anyone. It just made me totally emotional and overwhelmed. It was just the most perfect package ever. But living in this beautiful bag by Girl So Sheepy is my Fine and Dandy socks, and this is where I'm at. I'm not sure if I've really done all that much on these, because I have been working on my other projects come to think of it, I'm not sure if I've knit anything on these. Maybe a row or two. I'm sorry if I'm just showing you completely the same progress as last time. I'm just realizing I might not have worked as much on these as I thought. Anyways, the pattern is by Jessica Gore. It is the Fine and Dandy socks. It's a beautiful pattern. I have done a couple of these previously, but I've never done it in a self-striping yarn. And the yarn is by Comic Book Store Yarns. And this is what it looks like. I'm really loving this color combination, and it's just a joy to work with. The contrasting is just an unknown for the toe. It's just an unknown sock yarn. It was unlabeled, it was in my scrap bin, but I had quite a bit of it left, so I just grabbed it because it looked really good with this one, I think, and I just went with it. It feels like a commercial type sock yarn. Yes, so pretty good for contrasting heel, toes and cuffs. I'm hoping to knit more on these because I feel like I've been carrying it around with me everywhere and just not really having the time to knit on it because of other projects having to take the front seat right now. But it's still a joy to work on if I had been working on it, I suppose. But I do really love the pattern. It's a great pattern, and just knitting a patterned sock on a self-striping, I have never done that before, and I think it's a whole lot of fun. And if you haven't, then yeah, maybe try it out. It's a little bit of a more maximalistic look, but I think it's a lot of fun and I love it. So there you have it. Yes, what else? Like I said, there will be a couple of different secret projects that I have been working on being revealed in due time. No, not long now. It's not long. 3 different ones. And I'm so excited. I think I'll do a bit of a video on Instagram. Yeah, I might even have done that and added it into this video if I have the time. If not, pop on over to Instagram and watch it there. Alright, the next project is living in my Lovebirds bag. This is a bag by Give Me a Crown. There you have it, and it is a snap bag, which is great. It's got a handle, which is great. It's just a lovely little sock-sized bag. The sun is quite distracting, I have to say. There we have it. There you go. Yeah, just have to go around it. Yes, these are small socks. What do you know? They're Cheshire Grin Nippex Felici socks that I have been working on forever, it feels like. But I finally got some progress on these because yesterday I went to see the new Mamma Mia movie, which was just yes, very charming, and just a lovely feel-good movie, sort of what you'd expect after seeing the first one. And yes, needless to say, I've been singing ABBA songs pretty much non-stop since then. But I did bring these with me to the movies, so I was, I think, around here when I got there, and I did this bit during the film, which was pretty good because it was quite dark and no stitches dropped. The only thing I will say is that knitting in the complete dark definitely affected my gauge. If you can see this is by the pool vacation knitting, and this is completely darkness movie knitting. But I was actually considering to redo it, but I'm not going to be bothered. I think it's fine. I think it will even out a little bit after blocking it, and then yeah, it's going to be fine. I do like a tight gauge anyways. So yes, there you have those. I'm really loving this colorway. I think it's so playful and fun. And yes, vanilla socks for the movies are brilliant. If you drop a stitch, you can deal with it afterwards. It's not such a big deal. Pretty much anything is fixable, at least when you're doing a vanilla sock. Yeah, no worries. I'm knitting these on the Addy Crazy Trio Flexi Flips. That's a mouthful. And yeah, I think they're pretty. I did a review of these a while back, episode 14 or 15, I think. And I'm still really enjoying working on these. I know a lot of people have had problems with a little bit of snagging in the like between the cord and the needle, but I have never had that issue. I think it's quite smooth, but I've only used these needles with a smaller circumference, or not circumference, a smaller needle size. So the needles I've used are I think a US 1 and maybe a 0 as well, a 2mm and a 2.25mm, I think. And I've never had an issue with that. So maybe it's got to do with maybe it's different with the bigger needles. I'm not sure. I don't know, but the thin ones, no issues. That's that. I need a sip of my Pepsi because I am melting. Okay. Yes. Yeah, I can see that I put some crocheting in my show notes, but I don't have any crocheting to show you. So that was a bit of a... Where have I put that one? I don't know where it is. I think I've still got a couple of things lost, or not lost, but just a little bit misplaced after we came home and just from unpacking. So I will, yeah, I'm not quite sure where it's at, to be honest. But I started crocheting a little bit in Spain because I found all of this cotton yarn and I got super inspired to start crocheting something. And I didn't bring any hooks or anything like that with me because I wasn't planning on doing it, but I picked up a set of some crochet hooks from like a dollar store type place, and they were horrendous, just horrendous metal needles. So that was not very enjoyable. So long story short, I am thinking of just redoing the things that I crocheted, but I'll pop in a picture of what I've started. It's this little lovely lady. It's Mirror the Mermaid, and it's a kicker light pattern, and I'm really excited about making it. I think it's just so cute, and yes, it's happening. It's gonna happen at some point. I just need to I think I'll have to restart it. But let's see, the colors that I started it, I can just grab those. You've seen the picture now, probably, hopefully. I started it with just this Egyptian mercerized cotton yarn that I found in Spain. I have no idea what label it is. Oh, no, wait. It's called... I'm just going to show you. It looks like this, and that is the name of it. And it's just 100% mercerized cotton, and I got this one for the body, and then this, is it this one? Yeah, I think this is the one. I was thinking this one for the hair, and I started on the tail, and let's see, I might have that one floating around in my bag. Oh no, I'm pulling a thread and I can just feel it unraveling deep in this bag. Oh, that's not good. Oh, no, there it is. Okay, so I started the tail in this crazy green color. It's the same yarn. This is all I've done on it. So it wasn't really that problematic that it unraveled. But, oh, and I also got this one. Not quite sure what to use it for, but I was thinking maybe doing something crazy with the hair together with this one. I'm not sure. But then I found a bunch of other cotton yarn. I feel like this is segueing into a acquisition / waffle segment, so I'm just rolling with it. And yes, I have been out traveling, and it's been a few weeks since I talked to you guys. So yes, I got a lot of different crochet yarn that I was planning on using for some sort of amigurumi type crocheting. I'm just pulling them out of this bag. Yeah, I'm just going to show it off rather quickly. I have no idea what brand this is. It's just inside of here, but it's not possible to see it. It's also just 100% mercerized Egyptian cotton. Okay, this one, I'm just showing them all off to you so you can see all the lovely colors. And these are a little bit thinner than the first ones that I showed you. So I'm thinking of redoing the mermaid in this yarn, also because these colors are just so lovely, and clearly they are all very mermaid worthy. Oh, look at this one. I love this lilac color. Yes, oh, there's more down here. You got a grey one and brown, chocolatey brown, and this lovely salmon pink. And yeah, there's a couple of more I think, but I'll show them later. Okay, so I'm thinking of redoing the mermaid. I've got so many crochet sort of amigurumi type books that I have just been craving to get working on. So I'm thinking I'll do that. Maybe I should do a amigurumi cal or something as well. We'll think about it. I'm not an avid crocheter in any way. It's been several years since I crocheted, but I've always enjoyed it, so I'm thinking I'm gonna pick it up again. Okay, some traveling. We went to Spain for 3 weeks. It was beautiful. It was relaxing. We were both just reading a lot. I read a lot of audiobooks so that I could be knitting at the same time. Christian mostly used his Kindle, and it was just so lovely just having that time together and not working and just having the luxury of sort of designing our own every day, and what we wanted to do instead of what we had to do, which was just lovely. He works a lot, and it's not that often that we've got several days off, completely off like that. So it was great. Brilliant food, tons of ice cream. No surprises there. Yeah, it was just so perfect. We went to some incredible cities. A city called Murcia, I think is how you pronounce it. It's not that far. It's a short drive, and from where we stayed, and it was such a beautiful trip. We'd spent the entire day relaxing, and then we went in the afternoon when the sun wasn't that intense, and it was such a beautiful city. It was so just pretty. It was just a very beautiful city. The food was incredible. There were so many local specialties that we got to enjoy, and we walked around just exploring the city and all of the lovely little shops, and then we came back to this lovely plaza called Plaza de Flores, which is a plaza in the city where there used to be just complete covered in florists and flower shops, and there still are a couple, but now it's mostly restaurants, and this is the place where apparently the locals go to get their dinner. So we thought, well, let's do that. So we sat down at this great tapas bar, and we watched the World Cup finals, and yeah, just ate tapas, and it was just wonderful. It was outside. We were sitting under some beautiful, huge trees, and it was just perfect. I did do a little travelgram after this trip on my Instagram TV, so head on over there if you want to hear more about it. And then we went to, I think this is probably my favorite place in the world. It's a city called Granada, and it is about a 3.5-hour drive from where we were at, and we've been there before, but it's a few years ago, and I've been just dying to go back there. And the city is incredible. You should look it up. Just do a Google search of Granada, and just have a look at it. It's incredible. The history, it's so soaked in just incredible history, and so much culture, and the architecture is spectacular, the food is spectacular, the nature. It's a city, it's called the city of, I think the city of 1,000 castles, or 100 castles maybe, is sort of how it's known, and it's like it sounds like. The city has got several castles and cathedrals, and you can go visit the castle gardens, and it's incredible. We had a beautiful trip, and our hotel was this 19th century remodeled mansion in the middle of the city, and it was just perfect. It was just so just so lovely and authentic feeling, and we had a balcony, and it was just lovely. It was a perfect, wonderful trip. And on the first evening that we were there, we just went out and just decided, let's just walk around and take it all in. And we just took this random left turn into this small little alley, and I just sort of glanced over my shoulder and I looked right into a store with a huge window, and the windowsill was just covered in hedgehog fiber minis. And I just stopped, and I think I may have squealed a little bit. I think I may have gotten some strange stares from people. And Christian just started laughing at me, and he was like, "Did you find some yarn to play with?" And I was like, "It's hedgehog! It's hedgehog!" And I had no idea that it would be there. Just completely out of the blue, and so funny. But the store was closed, but thank goodness it was supposed to open again the next morning. So clearly I came back. And it was the most charming store I've ever seen. It was this very tiny space with a huge table in the middle and just shelves stacked all across the walls, covered like floor to ceiling in yarn, and the table in the middle were filled with hedgehog fibers. And yes, I did some damage while I was there, let's just say that. Yeah, and there was this huge table filled with these beautiful ladies crocheting and knitting and speaking Spanish so quickly that I had no idea what was going on. And yeah, I just, my jaw dropped. I was in there for such a long time. Poor Christian outside reading on his Kindle in like 43 Celsius degree weather. And this was in the middle of the day, so the sun was scorching, but yeah, no, he's the best. He didn't say anything about it. I just kept popping my head out and like, "How are you doing out there?" Because I'd been in there for so long, and he was just like, "Don't worry about it, you just take your time and have fun." So I did. And yes, my impression is that crocheting is a lot bigger in Spain than knitting is. That might be completely wrong, and do correct me if I am wrong, but that's just my impression. And so cotton crochet yarn was very easy to come by generally in Spain, but knitting yarn, especially fingering weight and especially hand-dyed yarn, was just impossible to come by. So stumbling across this store was just the craziest thing. Yes, clearly, as you just saw, I fell into the crochet trap, and I got a couple of more balls actually at this store because they were on sale and I couldn't resist the colours. Okay, so this is an Italian yarn. It's 100% cotton. It's called, let's see, Tropical Lane. Yes, Tropical Lane. And I got two balls. I got this one because it immediately made me think of like sea foam and like a seahorse and the tail of a mermaid perhaps. So I got that one. And then I got another one of the same yarn in this color. This is one of the most beautiful colors I have ever seen, this dusty pink. It's incredible. I cannot wait to start using this one. Okay, so I got those two. That's the only cotton yarn that I got from the store. Oh yes, the store is called Lola and Punto. Let me just double check that really quickly so I don't give you the wrong name. I'm pretty sure that was it. Yes, Lola and Punto. They do have an Instagram page as well. Yes, Lola and Punto. But I didn't, although I didn't get any more crochet yarn, I stumbled across, they didn't have that much knitting needles that I was interested in, but they did have some really good crochet hooks. They had a lot of different clover crochet hooks, and I have just really wanted to try the Clover Amour crochet hooks. I think it might have been the lovely Carmen of the New Leaf podcast that mentioned these at some point. I'm sorry, Carmen, if that's not true. Anyways, somebody talked about these and I've wanted to try them ever since, and I haven't seen them in any store. I've seen a ton of the different clover ones and I've tried a couple of them as well, but never the Amour series. So clearly, seeing that I hadn't seen them before and I really wanted to try them, I got several. So I got the 1mm, I got the 1.75mm, I got the, oops, it fell down, I got the 2mm and a 2.5mm. So I'm pretty much, and I've got a 1.5 of another one of the clover hooks. I can't remember what it's called, Touch or something like that. But anyways, I feel like I'm pretty much set in the amigurumi size crochet hooks at the moment. So I'm really excited about trying these. I think I've also got a couple of larger ones as well. But these were the ones that I got in this store. Clearly being around all of this crocheting affected me in a profound way, because I got a lot of crochet things. Okay, so over to the knitting yarn. Like I said, I found Hedgehog. They didn't have any of the Hedgehog fingering weight, the sock yarn, but they had the Hedgehog Fiber Sporty Merino, which is 100% merino yarn, and it is sport weight. This is called Harajuku. It is an incredible neon pink, and I can't wait to do something fun with this one. And I got a spackly one, also the Sporty Merino. This one is called Teacup. And I got a final Sporty Merino from Hedgehog Fibers in the coral colorway, and this one it really spoke to me. I was very tempted to get several of these to knit a larger piece, like a sweater. I use it for a sweater or something, but I didn't have a sport weight sweater in mind, so I thought I would drop it and just get the one just for now anyways. And also it's 100% superwash merino, so yeah, so it's not really the best for a garment, a larger garment like that. Oh no, this is completely unraveled. Okay, the skein has just totally unraveled. Just give me a sec. Just have to do this quickly. I got some, actually just one skein of Malabrigo Machita, and it is called Hollyhock, and this color is, I mean, it's so beautiful, and like, I mean, look at these. It's so soft as well. It's just incredible. It's 100% superwash merino, but it is just the softest yarn you can imagine. Yeah, it's 100 grams, 420 yards. Yes, one more time. I love this color. Okay, and then, like I said, the window was covered in hedgehog minis, so clearly I had to get some of those to bring home with me. Hedgehog is really hard to come by where I live, so I just had to use the opportunity. The sun is just really taking over. Let me see if I can jump on over here. Is that a little bit better? Okay, that's a little weird though. Let me see. Okay, it's a little better. Yeah, I'm almost done. We'll just leave it in. Yes, minis. I'm just going to show them to you. Okay, we have Crybaby. Boombox. Oracle. Guppy. And Pollen. I cannot wait to get started on these. I want to put them in all of the socks. I want to make all of the shawls. I want to go crazy with these minis. I'm so glad that I found them. I'm so excited about it. And last but not least, I got, this is just some commercial yarn, but I could not keep away from these colors, and they are also incredibly soft. It is a concept by Katya yarn, and it is the Silky Lace, which is an extra fine merino silk. Merino silk. It says merino, but it also says virgin wool. It says 80% virgin wool, 20% silk, but at the label it says merino. Okay, that's confusing. Anyways, this is the one. Concept by Katya, Silky Lace. And I got this charcoal grey. I got two balls of this. And yeah, the colorway name is 155. And the second one I got was this one, this dusty pink, and I couldn't resist because look at this. Isn't that just the most perfect colors together? I love these. I love this combination. So they had to come home with me. All right. That is all of the acquisitions. I'm gonna need some Pepsi for that. Whew. All right, what else? That might be it. I think I'm just going to end it right there. I can feel my throat going a little a little sore from all of the non-stop talking, and I think I've shown you guys everything, and I've been talking for an hour non-stop, so yes, let's just round it up, and I'll make sure to, it won't be 3 weeks until the next episode, for sure, because now I am back home and I've got all the equipment. Yes, alrighty. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of your time with me. As always, it was a joy talking to you guys, and do feel free to hit the thumbs up on the video and to subscribe to my channel if you'd like. It really helps me out and it means a lot, and I'd really appreciate it. And I'll put in a little holiday montage in the end if you are interested in seeing some of the footage and pictures that I got on vacation. And hope you have a lovely knitty week. Bye!